Do you stay in hotels?
Yeah, all the time.
Do you?
Yeah, all the time.
What kind of hotels do you stay in?
Depends on what I'm doing. I mean, travel lodge is quick and easy. There's Premier Inns. I do like Holiday Inn quite a bit. Their breakfast is nice. I've stayed in some random ones as well. I stayed in one with one of my boys. That was fucking terrifying. I thought I thought it was a ghost in there. We were both like, what the fuck is wrong with this hotel? That was in Birmingham. I've stayed in so many hotels around the UK.
How do you feel about hotels?
I don't like them. I like them and I don't like them. Like when you get a good hotel and you're like, the room's nice, like, yes, this is nice. But then I'm like, man, so many people have been in here. So many things have happened in here.
What makes a nice hotel?
Just I guess the layout, the service, the food. I mean, travel lodges, not to throw travel lodge under the bus, but it's quick and easy. It's not the nicest place in the world. Holiday Inns are quite nice. They're nicely constructed.
I've never stayed in a Holiday Inn before.
Hotels with gyms. I love hotels with gyms. I love using new gyms.
How do you feel about sleeping in the beds?
I'm never a fan of sleeping in new beds. That's not just with hotels. That's anywhere I go. If I'm in a new relationship, I'm not a fan of sleeping in somebody else's beds to begin with. So especially if hotels, knowing that I don't know if the cleaner's done this properly. I don't know how many people have been in here. I don't know if they've washed these sheets properly. And I don't know if this room is fucking haunted or not. So I'm never a big fan. I fucking hate those rooms where you're here and the mirror's there. And I can see myself sleeping. I'm like, oh, there's going to be some dead bitch in my bed in the morning, man.
You know, they say it's apparently like you shouldn't sleep in front of a mirror because the mirror just sort of absorbs all your dreams and stuff. Like, I don't know. I think it's...
Who the fuck said that?
Some horror type shit.
I saw a horror where the guy was sleeping in front of the mirror, but his mirror version moved and stood up, and he was still asleep. And I was like, nah, fuck that. And then I walk into a hotel, or not just a mirror, when the TV is opposite you, and when you close off the lights, you can see yourself in the TV. I'm just sitting there like...
You're a little wimp, innit?
I don't like... I would much rather deal with some bullshit from another person than some paranormal shit when I'm on my own. I know people in the comments like, my ghosts ain't real, go fuck yourself. I don't care. I think they're real, okay? I think they're real, and I don't like it.
Everyone knows by now.
Yeah, well, stop telling me. I heard you loud and clear the first 10 times.
You stay at a hotel, you expect fresh, clean sheets, but how would you know for sure? Well, our investigative team came up with a simple, kind of ingenious test. They rented a hotel room, checked out, and then the next day checked into the exact same room under a different name. Did house cleaning change the sheets? Here's Ann Mercogliano with the great Inside Edition hotel sheet test.
We got to wondering, do hotels always change sheets when new guests check in? We booked ourselves into 9 hotel rooms, and each time we sprayed this harmless, washable fluorescent paint onto the bedsheet using this stencil. You can't tell anything is written there, but turn on our UV lights and presto, there it is. I slept here, glowing bold and bright. At the Candlewood Inn and Suites in Manhattan, we sure left our mark.
Oh, wow, there it is. I slept here, nice and big.
Then we checked out. It should have been clear to any maid that the bed had been slept in.
There's no fucking way.
Now before we continue watching this video, I remember coming across, because I know this is American, right? I remember coming across a video a couple of years ago of a British girl who used to work, it was either at a Travelodge or a Premier Inn or one of them hotels. And she was like, oh, facts about hotels that you didn't know. And she said, apparently, they don't wash your bed sheets. And I've been conscious of it since then. And she said, what you can do is on arrival, you can request for fresh sheets. But yeah, if the sheet's not dirty or there's no visible stains on it, they will not change the sheets. And then after seeing this video, it's just confirmed it to me that yes, I don't think all hotels are constantly changing their sheets.
This year alone, I've stayed in more than 50 hotels. Probably more than 60, 70 because of how much I travel. You guys are a bunch of low-down criminals. How dare you?
It's bad. It's actually very bad. And I don't know how... I mean, I suppose other than what these people have done, there's no way to prove it.
Now I'm taking a UV light with me now every time I go. If I walk into that hotel room and go like this and there's white stains everywhere, you're going to hear from me. I'll be at a reception just acting like a Karen straight away. That's disgusting.
One time I stayed in a travel lodge and I walked on the carpet in my socks, my white socks, and I kid you not, I looked at the bottom of my socks and they were black.
Oh,
And I was like, wow, this is disgusting.
it's the one when you walk and your trainers stick to the floor.
Oh,
And you're like, yo, what is going on here? That shit's happened to me before. Not many times, but it's happened before. I remember I was about to get in bed. You know, I was going to climb onto the bed, take off my shoes. My shoes were already taken off for me. I jumped up onto the bed. My shoes were still on the floor.
The next day, we booked the exact same room, but under a different name.
Motherfucking liar.
Okay, here we are back at the Candlewood Inn and Suites. We stayed in this room last night. We rechecked in. Let's take a look. These should be clean sheets. Let's see. Disgusting. These sheets are dirty. Look at this. I need a manager up here. I'm Anne Mercogliano with Inside Edition. We want to just show you something on the bed.
Okay.
This sheet hasn't been changed. Why weren't the sheets changed?
Okay, I expect them to be changed every day, and that is a policy of our property.
Was it just a simple mistake, or is this a common occurrence? A dirty little secret in the hotel industry?
I slept here.
At this La Quinta Inn and Suites, not far from Central Park, we did it again.
These men are just going around exposing hotels.
yeah,
No,
but
good.
I
You're doing
think,
the fucking Lord's work.
Yeah. And I think it has been a big hotel secret. I reckon even some of the big luxury hotels are probably doing the same thing as well.
I'm buying a UV light. If I walk into a hotel room, listen, if you watch this channel and you work in a hotel, start changing the sheets. If I walk into the hotel and flash that UV light and you ain't changed the sheets, we're going to have problems.
Because it is crazy to think, though, that, for example, a lot of people do the business in a hotel and you could be sleeping in practically someone else's business.
Oh, that's gross.
It is, but it's disgusting. It's so much germs. What if somebody's got, like, ringworm and they sleep in that bed and then you sleep in it?
God, that's filthy. That is foul. Yeah, I guess
Like, health-wise, it's actually bad.
That's pretty bad. That's terrible. Also, can I just point out, this is like a side note, but like the hotels need to be built with thicker walls. Every time I go to a hotel, I'm like, I can't even say get a room. In the room next to me. Every time. Just letting me know how fucking lonely I am. I just have to sit there listening to you whack off or do whatever you're doing to your girl.
That's so jokes. Maybe they just shouldn't have the beds next to the walls.
Yeah, like the headboard's
Like,
just banging
they'll
against
have,
it.
like, can you be the wall? Can you just put your arm up? Like, your hand. This is the wall. This is one bed. And on the other side of the wall, the other bed's like that.
Ow. My shoulder. What the
Sorry.
fuck?
I thought you was flexible.
Why would you think
But do you see
that?
what I'm saying? They're putting the beds head to head like that
Yeah.
rather than just, Anyway.
I
sorry.
know so many people's names now, man.
You're right.
Yeah, it's
Seem
people
a bit
fucking.
injured.
You know I've got bad shoulders.
No.
Yes, you do. I've told you 100 times.
No. I probably did listen.
Oh, of course you did.
I slept here on the bed sheet. And when we returned under a new reservation the next day,
Here we go.
look at what we found.
And the proof is in the paint. Take a look at this. This is disgusting. They didn't change the sheets. And I need a manager right away. Hi. How are you? I have to shut the light.
When he arrived at our room, he brought a maid with him. She claimed she cleaned the sheets.
Do you change the sheets every night for the guests?
Well, of course.
But when I showed them our sign, they both apologized.
That's gross.
I mean, there's no words for me to say. We expect our housekeepers to change the sheets.
At this Residence Inn by Marriott, a hotel rated 1 diamond by the AAA, we sprayed the word yuck on the top sheet.
There it is. Yuck.
And then I slept here on the bottom sheets.
And this one's going right on the pillow.
And for the pillows, how about the Inside Edition logo? The results light up the room. Let's see what happens when we check in the next day under a different name.
Let's check the pillows. All right. Looks like they changed the pillowcases. Let's check the top sheet. Maybe it's clean. And yuck. Exactly. This is a dirty sheet. Let's check the bottom sheet. Okay, another dirty sheet. I slept here. This is...
Well, I mean, they're one diamond, so they went one step further. Changed some pillows.
Do you know what? I
Fucking
think
Mongols.
pillows is the one thing that they probably do keep changing.
You can get pink eye, you know, if someone hasn't.
Get a lot of stuff, Michael.
That's gross, man. Oh, me with my bushy hair fucking putting it all over these disgusting pillows. Why didn't you show me this sooner? How long have you had this video in the bank? You know I travel around. This is disgusting. If there's somebody working in hotels, please resign if you're not going to clean the fucking sheets. That is foul. I know everybody hates their jobs,
Yeah.
but please, man, that's so disgusting.
Or if anyone has worked in a hotel before, doesn't work there anymore, and wants to just expose and let us know that it is true, please do. Especially if you're in the UK, it would be nice to know. You don't need to expose the hotel,
Expose the hotel.
but just tell us, is this true or not? I mean, the is it the proof is in the pudding? Yeah.
Proof is in the
Proof is
bed
in the-
sheets.
is absolutely disgusting.
At first, the manager didn't want to talk about it.
Sorry, I'm going to have to ask you to cut the camera, please.
Why weren't the sheets changed? And we know those sheets weren't changed.
Make it accustomed to change every checkout room
Yeah.
sheet. However, I do not know what happened in this situation. I will have to get you my general manager.
Okay, but we could have slept on dirty sheets tonight. What do you think about that? In your hotel.
Not to make you queasy, but the next time you stay at a hotel, you might want to bring your own sheets.
You know what it is?
Can't have anything.
They've
good.
gone to all different hotels and the same things happened. I was going to say maybe they should keep staying in different rooms in the same hotel to see if it was a one-off in this particular hotel. But I think it's going to be the same result every time. The fact that I've seen this video and a previous one is confirmed it for me. They're not changing the sheets we're sleeping on. Unless it's proper rotten dirty. Maybe they change the sheets like once a week. I don't know. But you can't be having people, different humans, sleep in the same bed as each other. It's just, it's disgusting. What are we?
Fucking animals, apparently.
My God.
But I've worked in some places, right? Now, I can't actually say the name of the places. I'll tell you off camera. I will say, don't order food at bowling alleys. And if you don't see them making the food, don't order them at cinemas. I know someone that worked in both places, and I saw it for myself. Food being thrown on the floor and put back on the plates and handed to customers. People, you ever seen that? I don't know if it's not American Pie, but it's got those kind of actors in it. It might even be American Pie, where they take the cheese toast and start rubbing it on their genitals. And because the guy pissed them off, spitting on stuff. That shit happens.
Yeah, I believe that stuff happens. Do you know where's actually really sanitary? McDonald's.
Really? You sure?
I never used to work in McDonald's before you think, but somebody knew somebody who worked in McDonald's, and this person said they're very sanitary. Like if something falls on the floor, they're throwing it out. They're not picking it back up.
But I have heard, you know the screens that you order food on? They're some of the most dirty things in the whole of the UK. Because all of these people that are touching it, they've found a lot of like feces on them.
Oh.
You ever order from them? You ever go in there and tap them?
I mean, I'm a drive-through kind of girl.
Do you know what I do when we tap it? I went to one and it was in my head immediately. I was ordering like this.
But you know what? This is that I'm like that anywhere I go, anywhere with door handles, escalators, just anything, crossing the road, touching that stuff. I'm very conscious of how dirty is. Like the amount of times I've been in a toilet and watched a girl come out of the toilet and not wash her hands and walk out, or you watch a guy and he just, I don't know, men touch themselves. They just, you know what I mean? And it's just disgusting. And people don't wash their hands and then they touch stuff. So I'm like, I'm a clean freak. I'm very wash, sanitize, whatever before I'm touching anything.
I went into my first gender neutral toilet the other day.
Oh yeah. How was that?
It was not a nice experience.
Can
It
imagine.
wasn't a nice experience for the guys and the girls because none of us looked at the sign. We walked in and there was only one toilet. I only realized after we were walking
One toilet.
Not, I mean, like one entrance for everyone.
Oh.
Imagine one toilet and everyone's fighting for it. No, it was me and two other dudes. We were going into the toilet because we had to get changed. And we walked in, there were women in there. So we were like, oh shit. So and they were like, no, this is a gender neutral bathroom. I was like, you've got to be fucking shitting me. and they felt really awkward. And the guy that I was with, he was like, all the cubicles were being used, so he had to use the thing. Like,
they still have a urinal in there.
Yeah, they still got one.
If it's gender neutral, you shouldn't have a urinal.
Yeah, it was right at the back.
Fuck,
and then all the
forcing
cubicles,
things on us.
all the cubicles. It's the Excel Center.
What if you brought like your niece in there and there's some guy just taking a piss in a urinal?
It's the Excel Center, the only custom house Excel. The bathrooms are gender neutral. The guy went to take a piss. He was there like this, and he was like, the woman was standing, and he was like, "Can you move?
Can you not?" Yeah.
And she was like, "But she was waiting to use the cubicle," and he was like, "This is wrong, man. Like, we don't need gender neutral bathrooms. Are the dumbest thing I've ever seen."
And that's exactly why it shouldn't be that way. She's feeling uncomfortable, doesn't know what to do, where to go. What if a girl in there is changing her sanitary products and the guys can just hear it and stuff?
Yeah, it's just dumb. People that are for gender neutral bathrooms, you're stupid.
Imagine you like go on a date with someone and you both go into the bathroom at the same time. You can't even fix up your lipstick or your makeup because he's standing right there.
Yeah, imagine you said that to Bill and he said it to Bill. You both go into the bathroom. That shit, what do we do now? It's just dumb.
Have you seen that Spider-Man meme when they're both pointing at each other?
Yeah. The cartoon.
Yeah.
I'll never understand people that advocate for it, but anyway, that's besides the point. Yeah, fuck these hotels, man. Like, I stay in so many hotels over the year that's grossed me out.
But now, just when you get their request fresh bed sheets, they have to bring it up.
No,
and make them change it as well.
100%.
And if they say this has been freshly changed, say, okay, I want it changed again.
Yeah, change that shit again. I'll pull out that phone. I'll be like, you want to end up on my YouTube channel? Change that shit.
Yeah.
Anyway. That makes me wonder what they did with the breakfast now. Do you think they reuse it from the previous nights?
Oh, absolutely. Anything that doesn't get used.
That's no.
You know. I even reckon some restaurants where they put like bread and stuff on the table or dips. I think they take that stuff back and probably just put it in a new pot or scrape some of the other stuff off and then put it back out on someone else's table. They're not going to waste food.
That's so gross. I want to say this with my whole chest.
I want to say one thing before we get started. Why was I not invited?
To what?
To watch the fight with you.
Because I didn't know Rico was going to buy it. I was going to get in bed and stream it because I had work in the morning. And then I walked in, all his friends were there. They were ordering food. So I was like, I'll sit and watch it. There was literally, you wouldn't have wanted to be there. There was no room. The dogs were everywhere as well. And I was going to work I was so grouchy. Now, let me just say this with my whole chest. I could tell
you was grouchy.
Let me say this with my whole chest. I sent you a voice note. I was fuming.
I was cracking up.
Fuck Tommy Fury. Fuck Logan Paul, fuck KSI, and especially fuck Dylan Dennis. Capital F, capital Y. Now, do you know what? Let me take it back. Not fuck KSI. He actually tried.
What's the Y for? Fuck you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
KSI actually tried. And the thing is that I'm going to give KSI his flowers. He is a YouTuber, and he went up against a professional boxer. And I'm sorry, even though the fight was shit and it was annoying to watch, KSI won that fight.
I completely disagree.
You go back and watch it.
No.
KSI, everyone agreed, even on the scorecards, he won rounds 1, 2, and 3, right? Then in the other rounds, it was a toss-up. But the problem is that you could only at best give that a draw because KSI had already won 1 to 3. So it's not possible for Tommy to win the match anymore.
If they went in and done proper boxing rather than KSI doing this tactic because he knew Tommy was too tall for him, then I think there would have been different
what do you mean proper
results.
Boxing?
Because it's, to be honest with you, throughout the bulk of the fight, there just seemed as though there was not actually much punching going on, like proper punching. It was just he kept on going into that position, clinching, I think is the word.
Yeah.
Because he knows if he doesn't do that, Tommy's too tall. It was difficult.
No, my problem is Tommy is a pro boxer. Pro boxers are taught how to deal with that shit. KSI is a YouTuber who crossed over into the boxing scene. Tommy has been boxing longer than KSI has probably been making videos on the internet. It's Tommy's job to stop that from happening. He is a professional. Yeah. He let a YouTuber come in there, and even if you think Tommy won, you know damn well if he did win, he won by a hair.
Yeah, I mean, I think Tommy as a boxer anyway is rubbish. I think he struggled against Jake Paul. Again, I know Jake Paul's probably had a lot of training behind him and everything, but it's a YouTuber who's not been doing boxing as long as you and has an actual career like you. So I know Tommy is a shit boxer. However, I still think that Tommy deserved to win that fight.
No, I don't think Tommy deserved to win it. I watched it back twice. I tried to count it fairly, and on top of KSI winning the first 3 rounds, so at best you could have given it a draw because there was only 6 rounds, so Tommy would have to win 3 to draw. Tommy had a point deducted for punching KSI in the back of the head.
Yeah, he kept doing it though.
So it would have been 10-8 in that round as well. So Tommy didn't win that fight. Everybody,
I think he did.
It doesn't even make sense on the scorecards.
And I'm glad he did as well.
No, I'm so disappointed. He's a fury. It's just embarrassing. So no, not fuck KSI. Like KSI went out there, and even if you think he lost, KSI actually showed a lot of heart. I understand he didn't handle it the best after the bell went. He was a very, very sore loser.
Yeah.
But KSI is not really used to taking L's, so.
But I when you say he showed a lot of heart, I don't know if it was coming from the right place. It seemed more of a non-humble place of, I'm KSI, I've done this whole event. He's definitely a sore loser. You can tell he doesn't like losing. And it was not more so of him looking at it as a fair and square boxing aspect. I think there was more to it. And I think him and Logan went into this knowing, do you know what, prime this, prime that, we're going to smack everyone up and that's it. We're going to make history. I don't know. I just looked at it a bit different.
No, I'm sorry. KSI is not a professional boxer. He's been doing this for a very short time. But Tommy's been boxing all his life. By all rights, Tommy should have knocked him out in the first round and he just couldn't get him out there. I'm sorry, but you went 6 rounds with a YouTuber. KSI, even if he didn't win the fight on the scorecards, even if it was awarded to Tommy, Tommy lost that in the eyes of the crowd. Even if Tommy actually won that fair and square on points, he went the distance with a YouTuber. That is embarrassing.
Yeah, you can say that, but I still think that Tommy won.
No, I don't think Tommy should have won that. But that fight aside, the Logan Paul-Dylan Dennis fight was one of the most, if not the most, shambolic things I've ever seen in my life. I was backing Dylan Dennis. I'd never been a Dylan Dennis fan before, but I was like, do you know what? I'm going to have his back because I really don't like Logan. Logan is, I hate to use this word because people use it like a buzzword these days, but he seems sociopathic to me. He's done so many bad things to people. And he seems to get away with it all the time. He fucked his brother's girlfriend. He showed a dead body in the Japanese forest. He scammed people with the whole crypto thing. And each time he seems to come out stronger on the other end. And it's not even like I want to be a hater, but he genuinely does things to fuck people over. Even his co-host, George Janko, whatever his name is, he fucked him over as well. Like he just throws people under the bus. And he seems to get away with it all the time. Now my man's got a WWE contract. He's probably going to go to WrestleMania, beat Rey Mysterio for the United States Championship. This guy can't take L's for some reason. So Dylan Dennis went in there talking all this shit. You know, Jiu-Jitsu world champion, undefeated MMA fighter. I'm thinking, yeah, okay, he's not a boxer, but he's a fighter. He understands how to fight.
I don't think it matters though.
Well, clearly not, because my man stood there and just got pummeled by Logan.
Yeah, he actually did nothing. But I think by that point he already just knew, do you know what?
He was there for the bag.
Yeah.
But you can't roast my man's girlfriend like that. Right? Which I was backing him.
This is it. He's made his money. He's embarrassed Logan online. He's embarrassed his girlfriend. That's it. He's probably really not bothered to win that fight.
Maybe he's not bothered, but a lot of people were like, they wanted someone to take Logan down because Logan's done a lot of shitty stuff. And Dylan Dennis spoke a big game. He sold a dream, right? People paid to watch Logan lose, really. The KSI and Tommy Fury fight was the main event, but people would tune in to watch Logan versus Dylan. And Dylan sold us a dream. He threw more punches at the security guards coming into the ring than he did at Logan.
How fun was the Royal Rumble? Free Royal Rumble after the fight.
I will say this about that, though. I don't know if anyone's paying attention, but Jake Paul got in the ring.
Someone punched him in the back of the head.
But Jake Paul was... I watched that. I watched that back and then I watched the edit of his angle. He was on smoke. If someone talks shit about Logan, Jake's there to defend him. Like even though I don't always like Jake, I respect Jake. And out of all of the boxers there, I think Jake, even though he lost to Tommy, I think he lost mainly because Jake's got more of a traditional style. He fights more like a traditional boxer. KSI is a wild card. Even though he lost to Tommy, I still think Jake could beat Tommy.
I think Logan would beat Tommy.
It's possible. I mean, the thing is, it's hard to say how good Logan is because he was hitting a punching bag. Dillon Danis was a punching bag, so anybody can look good against something that doesn't move.
No, but I generally think he would stand a really good chance.
He might stand a good chance. I mean, Logan's a good athlete. As much as I don't like the guy, you can't deny he's not a good athlete. But man, fuck Dillon Danis, man. Fuck that guy. I watched him on so many podcasts talk about the troubles he's had with like family and alcohol and addiction and all of these things that have happened to him. And I was like, do you know what? Maybe he had a bad time and he's trying to pull himself out of the mud, and he's going to take down this prick who has been basically terrorizing people for God knows how long on the internet. And then he gets in the ring and he doesn't even try. And do you know, I really thought he was going to get in Logan's face, because on the press conference, Logan threw a bottle at him and Dillon Danis had the mic and he smashed it in Logan's face, and Logan had that cut on his eye. Right, that cut didn't come from the fight because Dillon didn't touch him. That cut was from the press conference when Dillon hit him with the microphone. So I was like, yeah, he's in Logan's head. He's going to beat this guy. Even though he's not a boxer, he's a fighter. He understands how to intimidate people or whatever. And it was just a fucking L.
Are they going to do a thing now? MMA fight?
Well, I can promise you this. I'm not staying up when I have work in the morning. You heard my voice, though. I was fuming.
Yeah, I know. But I think I would like to see it because that's his profession. I'd want to see if he would actually body.
No one's going to want to hire him. I mean, he might, but he went for 2 takedowns in the fight and he flopped both of them. Remember, he put Logan in a headlock. He flopped that. Then he tried to put him in a guillotine. He flopped that. Then he went for a takedown. He flopped that. Like, it was just a massive L. It was so embarrassing. He trolled Logan for 2 months. Every day, a new picture of his girlfriend. Every day. And then that's what we get. I wouldn't have even mind if he went out there and boxed and lost.
Yeah.
Didn't even try.
But I think it is just this, you know how we say like clout culture is killing our people? I think that's more so what that was. It was the clout and attention and the money he was making and pissing somebody else off that you don't like.
I just don't get it. Like, he would have been an internet legend. Like, there would have been stories told about the day Dillon Danis slayed Logan Paul after 2 months of some of the most vicious trolling I've seen leading up to a boxing fight. He could have done that. And he just threw it all away. He didn't even try. So, yeah, apart from KSI, because he actually tried, fuck Tommy Fury. He's a shit boxer. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy. I'm saying fuck him for the event. I ain't staying up to watch another one of his fights. Fuck Logan Paul, because even though he won, he's still a piece of shit. That I know the audience was cheering for him in the moment, but let's not forget all the things that he's done. And who's the other one?
KSI.
No, KSI's fine. But
That's
Tommy
it.
Fury, Dillon Danis, and Logan Paul, fuck all of them. And you know what? Shout outs to Jake Paul, man. He got in that ring amongst a sea of bodyguards and people throwing punches. And he was, honestly, you could see him. He was like trying to like climb over people to get to Dillon, saying, "Let me at him."
The thing is, though, is that he because you're in that sort of environment where A, there's security guards that are going to protect you, and B, there's cameras going, you've got to do something, otherwise you're going to look like even more of a dickhead.
No, I think he was trying his best. I watched it from the other angle because they showed it to us from like here, and you just saw everyone running in. There was another angle, and Jake was legitimately pulling people off him to run over. He just couldn't get to Dillon in time. I do think Jake's on that smoke.
Yeah, because he's learned to box now. He knows he can handle himself.
Yeah, and after seeing what Dillon did, he was like, I can definitely fuck this guy up. So, yeah, no.
Who the fuck is this
guy? I'm not staying up for influencer boxing again. I watched the other matches. They were mostly boring.
Yeah.
It's just, it was shambolic.
I just think it's silly that we've gotten to this stage, though, where boxing is now influencers. Like, it's just one big joke. Well, I mean, it generated so much interest and so much money that it's only going to go up from here. But it just seems like a mockery. It is. It's. I mean, they're not real boxers, right? They're influencers. They're fine. Like, I respect people that get in the ring. But then Tommy shouldn't be involving himself because he's an actual boxer. We know why Tommy's there. That payday is fat. He might say, I'm done with influencer, but he ain't done with it. If Logan Paul calls him out, he's going to go for it. But also, I think it's a case of he doesn't want anyone to call him a pussy. Well, it's a bit late for that. After that KSI performance. I mean, look, Tommy's obviously not a pussy. He could probably beat up most people that I know. But as a boxer, that was shambolic. I get it, but most people online, I was looking on Twitter, and the majority was Team Tommy.
That's not what I saw.
That's what I saw.
Yeah, but you like Tommy.
No. I'm not even a Tommy fan like that.
No?
No,
I thought you
not
were.
at all. No. I'm not a Tommy fan. I'm only an AJ fan. But anyway,
Most people I saw, even boxing commentators, were saying seemed like a not a
what,
robbery.
like Chris Eubank Jr.?
Not yeah, well, him as well, but other boxers like commentators, pundits, people that are involved in the game that were watching it. Loads of them were saying it's not a robbery because it was close anyway. But everyone was like, "Yeah, KSI won that." Even if you didn't think KSI won the fight, Tommy got a point deducted. So at best, it would have been 4-2 on rounds at best. But anyway, that's the end of my run with influencer boxing. I don't know, unless someone. I don't know, unless it's like The Rock versus Donald Trump or some wacky shit like that, I'm not going to tune in again. I went to sleep at 1 a.m. I had to get up at 6. I was fuming. Absolutely fuming. Went to work grouchy.
But if Dylan Dennis won, you would have just went bed happy.
Yeah. Or at least if he fought Logan. If he went out on his shield, I would have been like, yeah, cool. He tried, and he's not a boxer. This is his first run in it. Whatever. But I sat up. Now, luckily, my brother paid for it. I didn't pay for it, and I won't be sending him any money for it. Fuck that. But he didn't even try. He didn't even try. So, no. Fuck that show. Fuck Misfits. I'm not watching any more of that shit. Like, no disrespect to KSI, but that was just ridiculous from start to finish. He's the only person of the fights that were important where I'm like, yeah, KSI tried. And he tried against somebody that's supposed to be legit. I hope if they do a rematch, I reckon KSI can take him.
Nah.
And you know, for what it's worth, even if KSI couldn't, KSI does not know when to stop. He doesn't know when to quit. Like you can see he's got a lot of drive and determination. He really wanted that. The rest of them, sod them.